Did you wonder why in the movie Man of Steel, the first Superman movie with Henry Cavill, Superman is fighting in Metropolis versus Zod in this giant machine, and as he flies through the buildings, they're empty. There's no one there. Where is everybody? I'm James Peters. I've been an animation artist for 30 years, and this is one of those insider stories where animation affected live action. A lot of us in animation were really excited to see the first Superman. We thought Henry Cavill was an excellent cast, and we were very excited that Zack Snyder, the maker of 300, was making the movie. We were also excited because our friend and colleague Jay Oliva, who is one of the best directors, storyboard artists, and producers, was storyboarding for the movie. I spent a lot of my animation career adapting comic books into animation, and it was always very important to me to be true to the characters. And in that movie, Superman did a whole bunch of things that Superman fans knew Superman would never do. The two most egregious were when Superman said, "Krypton had its chance!" Superman would never say that. Superman would also never take the easy way out and kill General Zod. It's not about making Superman safe for kids. That's a line that this hero will never cross. No matter how difficult, there has to be another way. But one of the parts in the movie that drove me and lots of people who saw it a little bit nuts was where Superman is flying through Metropolis and he flies through some office buildings and there's no one there. We see some scenes where people have evacuated down to street level, down where Ben Affleck is making his first cameo appearance to introduce him as Batman. Ugh. So I went to Jay Oliva and I asked him what was going on with that sequence. What was going on was what happens with a lot of Hollywood comic book movies. You've got these Hollywood egos. Zack Snyder was very popular at the time and he really felt that he could do whatever he wanted, whatever worked for his movie, and everyone would just love it. Jay Oliva went to Zack Snyder and he said, Superman would never do this. Superman would find a way to take the fight out of Metropolis. But Zack Snyder was more interested in making you feel the peril and danger. It implies that people are dying all over the place, that Superman is able to save some but not all. So the decision that Jay made was Superman would know which floors of which buildings have been completely evacuated.
Let's start moving now. Let's go. Let's put this out of the building. Let's make it happen.
And he would take the fight there. So he very deliberately boarded Superman flying through buildings that are completely vacant. This is a talented storyboard artist trying to recoup the movie, but it wasn't written that way initially. So you never have Superman explaining that he's doing that. He doesn't ever say to someone, I'm gonna go fight in specific places where there's less people. To me, it just looked like a mistake. Wow, you couldn't spend the extra couple $100 to put some extras in those scenes?
Damn, this must have set him back a couple $100.
So, in my opinion, what was meant to fix the movie actually harmed it a little bit more. I suppose when I think about it, if it had been different, if those buildings had been full of people and Superman flew through a room that was full of people, I would have been more upset. I would have thought, whoa, Superman wouldn't do that. So I went and watched the movie again to give it another chance. And I went back to my colleague Jay Oliva the next day and said, hey, at least you tried. But in the end, the winner of the battle was the Hollywood ego.